All right, guys. Well, here we are. It is 3 in the morning. Been on the phone with Avery, the editor of my documentary, for the last few hours. The director, Lucas, and him, there's a team of people working on it. They owe a cut by June 8th. It doesn't matter what they have at that point. If they're not finished, they owe 2 hours of what they've been working on by that point. But from the sounds of it, it's coming out really good. He's like, "You look like a piece of shit." I was like, "Really? How big of a piece of shit?" He's like, "The biggest you could ever imagine." Imagine just some shit with like a cape on. It's like, "Whoa," that's me. Anyway, um, I'm looking forward to it. I've only seen 57 seconds of the film, the cop buster segment. That's all I've seen. You're gonna see my dick too. It's in there. It's getting interviewed. It's like, "Yeah, yeah. We used to be more athletic, but then he got on drugs. He's getting back though." I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. But anyway, it's like I'm definitely like in one of those moods right now where I'm like, do not want to do shit. I just want to sulk in my own depression. I'm like, oh, I smell depressed. Right on. I'm just gonna sit here in it and think. And then I'll be more depressed and start just stinking. More depression stench just seeps out of me. No, I mean I go back. It's a roller coaster. Today was interesting. When I was a kid, I've talked about this before. I probably sound like a weirdo. Like, you probably think I'm the kind of guy that was like sniffing pro skaters' underwear. I'm like, dude, I can fucking smell talent. No, I know what it smells like, and this is fucking it. I get beat up. Dad, don't come here anymore, man. Not here. All right, sorry. Anyway, the other day I was like, can I get a wipe? I'm still down. Remember that guy? It's funny because that's how that guy really was. But anyway, I loved skateboarding as a kid, still do. And remember Little Soldier? That was one of the pros. And then there was another guy that was around the same age. Now, these guys were gods, at least to me. I don't know how other people. No, they were like pretty world famous. I remember meeting these guys when I was a kid, and I was fucking starstruck. Starstruck. I just like ripped my shirt. I was like, fuck, it's fucking hot in here. Can I get a high five? And they're like, we're like, wow. I wish I wasn't a well-known skater because this is weird. And I ran into these guys a few times throughout my life, and then I became fucking like best friends with one of them, and we had a weird falling out. That's a whole series by itself. I should do a whole series called Pro Skaters. As I got some really crazy stories that I've never told about certain pro skaters that I know. And I don't even have to say their name. They're just funny stories regardless, just weird ass situations I've been in. It's an interesting profession. It's like there's no structure. You live like a rock star. And a lot of those guys fizzle out because they get injured. But anyway, one of these guys, one of the two team members on Shorties that was my age, I don't want to say that he was like too cool for me, but he was. You know, we'd be like going to the creek. I'd like take off my sweatsuit. I'd be wearing a Speedo. I was like, what? It's American flag patterned. No, that never happened. I never really got to hang out with the guy because he was in a social level that was a little higher than mine. Interestingly enough, and I worship this guy. I really did. Like, when we talked, my lips quivered. I was like, he like a few months ago, he Facebook friend requests me. I was surprised because this was my childhood hero. I mean, for real. He was like the kind of guy where like if he died, like I'd wear a lock of his hair around, like on a necklace. And I'd be like, I still think about him sometimes. Feel like he's here. No, I mean, I was never that creepy. But he messaged me and he's like, hey man, because we're both from the same town. He went on to live in LA. And he had gotten injured probably in his early 20s in his skate career. That was it, right? It was over. That happens a lot. But he reached out to me and he's like, hey man, I hear your name everywhere. He's like, you're blowing up in Santa Barbara. Like, people talk about you, and that kind of concerns me. Like, how many fucking people watch videos? Because I say some way, way out shit, Sometimes I'll watch videos that I've done and I'm like, how embarrassing. I can't believe I said that kind of shit. Actually, I don't even care. But I do kind of care because I'll be in Santa Barbara. It happens more in Santa Barbara than anywhere else. People stop me and recognize me from videos, and I don't even have that many subscribers. It's kind of like, it can be flattering, but it can also be kind of scary. Because I've talked a lot of shit about dangerous people, Southsiders, skinheads, fuck everybody, police, feds. And it's happened to me a number of times. Like, I was at a casino a couple months ago. I was like playing like nickel slots at like 5, 6 in the morning. Some guy's like, hey man, no, it was actually a Southsider. He's like, hey dog, do you do YouTube? He's like, I fucking have YouTube, fool. I fucking subscribe to it. And I was like, cool. He's like, keep doing what you're doing. It's fucking Fimi, dog. And I was like, hey, look, I mean, I know I'm playing nickel slots at like 5, 6 in the morning, but I'm not using. He's like, I don't even care, fool. I fucking, low-key, I kind of like you, fool. And I'm like, oh my God. I like panicked, ran for the security. No, that was weird. And then the other day, some dude in a pickup truck, another Mexican dude recognized me. That was in Santa Barbara. Happened once when I was trick-or-treating. That was weird. I was in like a full-blown Buzz Lightyear costume, and I was high on heroin that day. It was actually a really shitty time in my life. But yeah, people have recognized me and stuff. And so he had told me this when he DM'd me. He was like, yeah, people are talking about it. Especially, think about it, my hometown, because I talk about a lot of people that I grew up with, and they hear about it, and it just creates this like thing where they want to hear it, people want to hear me talk about them, I think. I don't know. It's probably interesting for people that were actually involved with these stories. He's like, yeah, like, this guy, he was like naming off pro skaters. Like, they're all fans. They all watch your stories and shit. And I thought that was really cool. And I've been meaning to hang out with the guy for months. I'm just really bad at that. I'm like one of those guys that just procrastinates, puts shit off, flakes, like makes plans break. I'm just unreliable. I am. I don't mean to be like that. But point is he's married. He's got a 3-year-old daughter. His wife is pregnant with their second. She's like due in a couple weeks. Karina is due August 21st. They had a 3-year-old daughter. Nico's 3. They played it. It was very adorable. They were like holding hands. I should post some pictures of it. It was quite cute. And I was talking to him, and it just kind of all hit me. I was like, this is my childhood hero. This is literally a dude that I fucking idolized. Like, at that point, if he's like, dude, if you let me butt fuck you, you can watch me skate. Like, when I have I'll like even acknowledge you. Yeah, this is my boy. Yeah, we butt fuck sometimes. So what? He's a fan, And I probably would have done it because I was just like, oh my God, like, I worship this guy skating. So I was with him today, and he's gonna come on the show. This isn't Brian Wenning. This is a different pro skater. He's got a very interesting story too. But he was just kind of like putting it into perspective where things are for me, as far as like the old social circles that would ignore me, and like just very interesting stuff, like 20 years ago, if you had told me that it was going to be like this, and people that I used to look up to are like either looking at me as an equal or looking up at me, it really would have blown my mind. And a lot of people think I'm arrogant, whatever. But, the truth be told is I've been through so much pain in my life. I've made so many mistakes. It's okay to be proud when I do things right, I think. I know someone's like, shut up, bitch. God, it's the same boring rants every fucking monologue. Do a story. I'm proud of where I'm at. My mom, her ill health, it makes me feel good that at least I'm starting to do stuff that I think she can be proud of. Oh yeah, I talk about sticking shampoo bottles in my ass, I talk about sex rides, butt fucking conga lines, Hood rats, sluts, whores, bitches, pimps, drug dealers. She's like, I know, I love that one. I'm like, yeah. And my parents watch my stuff, which is like really weird to me. Like they watch it now. Like they'll be like, I saw the Ricky Mars interview. Is decent. I'm like, oh my god. I say some crazy shit about like fucking pregnant girls. My mom's like, I don't even remember that. I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I made it up, Mom. And if I wouldn't do something like that, I like looking back on that, I'm generally not ashamed of stuff, but that was pretty dirtbag. Like we were doing math while she was pregnant, and like we were having sex, and she's like, "Look, if you put your hand here, you can feel the baby kick. I'm so high," and that's just garbage. Like now that I have a kid of my own, I look back at my ex-wife. I look at people like that, and to me, you're a monster if you do stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't been perfect. I've used while I've had a kid. I've been strung out while I've had a kid, but the kid was not inside of my body at the time. Like, not saying that what I was doing was okay, but like I just couldn't even fathom that. Or how my ex-wife used to treat her son. It was really bad. I mean, I have some incriminating ass videos of him crying to me. I'm like filming it, and he's like, "Mommy never feeds me anything," and like I was feeding him, and I'm like filming it. I'm such a sociopath. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use this against her sometime." Yeah. No, yeah, I'll make you ramen. And I used to have to feed him a lot. Stuff like that, all jokes aside, really bugged me now. Now that I have a kid of my own. And I always talk about paying a karmic debt, which I do believe in. I've done a lot of nice things for people, just random nice stuff for people lately, and I feel good about that, and I think I'm being rewarded karmically for it. But there's still that stuff, how I treated women in the past. It's something I regret. How I treated my parents, fuck, if I could take it back, I would. Getting spun out on crystal meth and letting the gardener suck me off. I was like, come on, bro. I'm fucking high. Okay. Well, you can see what kind of fucking mood I'm in. I'm in a dark one. So I'm gonna do an origins video now. All the stuff that I said that I have planned, it's like 4 or 5 videos. That's what's coming up the last couple days of the month. I don't think it's too much stuff where I like can't handle it. I'm gonna do what I can to see that entire list through. I'm feeling down right now, but story videos sometimes really like get me out of my funk. I get to do BF shit. I'm like, man, this is pretty medicinal. I should just, even if I'm not recording, I should talk about shit like this. All right, it's getting weird. Palabra.